Hello, everyone. Today is May 4th, 2023. This is the Kubernetes storage SIG meeting. Today, we are going to wrap up our 1.27 and start 1.28 planning. And we have a few items. So there was a topic about conformance test. So we will get to there after we are done with our regular planning. Okay, so I just copied the spreadsheet from 1.27 to 1.28. If there are any other items you want to target for 1.28, please add it to this spreadsheet. So I'll just go over this. The first one is recover from resize failure. Hemant, are we going to target this to beta or?
We still stay in alpha, and because we couldn't get the API change merged, so but most of the API changes are like written down, so but it still remain alpha.
That's 1.27, right? For 1.28 release, you think this is still staying alpha?
Yeah, because we couldn't get the API change merged, so the
But 1.28 has not started yet, right?
Yeah, but we had this API changes proposed in 127, which moves around the existing fields. So we cannot move it to beta in 128 without getting those API changes merged first.
Oh,
so
I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay, so all right. So basically, I guess the focus would be to get the API merged in 1.28 then. We can change this one saying get API changes merged.
Yeah.
In 1.28.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about this. This still tied with the QoS changes?
I think so.
Okay.
Is Sunny or someone call? But yeah, I think so.
Okay. Michelle or Sunny. Okay. Okay. QoS still. Right. So I just change this on a little bit. All right. So next one, issues related to async volumes among points. This is a bug fix. Do we have Xing here? I'll just say no update. Next one, volume group snapshot.
I think that, sorry. That one is done now, at least. It's not backported, but the last one that was remaining was during reconstruction, we check if the volume is a mount point. That check also was removed.
Okay, so do we still need a track here, or do you think we are all done?
I think we are all done. We can check with Michelle or Xing.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the update. Next one is volume group snapshot. So this one is alpha. We are still wrapping up the implementation in the external snapshot repo. So it's going to be staying in alpha. Maybe I'll leave this one for here and see if we still need to track this. Still trying to. Okay. And next one is provision volume from cross namespace snapshot and PVC. And hey.
Hello. Now is no update today.
Oh, okay. Do you I guess I believe there are some pending work in the volume populator repo. Do you plan to do that?
In progress now.
Oh, okay. Great. Work in progress. Later repo. I guess this stays in alpha because we are still waiting for the reference grant thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we just use this one to just say working volume calculator, or just use this to track this. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next one is volume health additional metrics. So this one, I'm not sure if we can target beta yet because we still have this E2E test. So maybe I will add a note for myself to follow up on this one. And next one is the change block tracking. Okay, I don't see Ivan or Prasad. Okay, so I think we would like to move this one to alpha, but I'd like to check with them first. We still having design discussions in the data protection working group. So I want to say, well, check with Ivan. Next one is the you rewrite only access mode. Rewrite once access mode. So this one, okay. I don't know if we are planning for GA yet, or maybe we need to wait for a release. So
we need to wait for one more release.
Okay, if that's the case,
just
I'll cross. I probably will just cross this out, unless if we have any. Maybe I'll just cross this out. Okay. Wait. Over release. GA. Next one is runtime assisted mounting. I do not know if Deep is planning for anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah, not sure. Okay, so we'll just say we need to check with Deep. I'm not sure what's the plan. The next one is enable privileged containers for Windows to replace CSI proxy. Alpha. Okay. Is this I don't know what is the status. It says on pause. No update, no update. Does anyone know? Maybe otherwise I'll just put on no update. So Michelle is not here, Jean's not here. So
Michelle is here.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, okay. What is the status for this?
So I think I need to sync up with Mauricio again, but Mauricio doesn't really have time to work on this anymore.
Okay.
So if anyone else is interested in this and also wants to potentially take this forward, I think that would be good.
So need a volunteer then?
Yeah.
Hi, Michelle. This is Manu from AWS. So we may be interested in evaluating the work that is required to implement this. Can you or Mauricio provide us some context in terms of what is the current status of this effort, and also what the scope of the work is? And we can make a call at that point in terms of whether we can contribute something to this or not.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'll poke Mauricio, and maybe I think there is a time slot set up for like a weekly Windows sync.
I thought that's
I think
canceled. That one is canceled because
Yeah,
there's no
I think
agenda.
there wasn't enough participation, is my understanding. So I think that meeting got canceled. But we are happy to sync with you and see, where, like I said, we may be interested in collaborating on this. I just don't know what the scope of the work is, and we'd like to understand that before we can commit to anything. So
okay, great. Yeah, I'll sync up with Mauricio, and then we can set up a time to talk about this.
okay, sounds good.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. Okay, next one is a node expand secret. Okay, so I think Humble is here, right? Oh no, Humble is not here. Okay, but this one just moved to beta. So we probably need to wait for one release then.
Mhm.
So just cross this out as well. Oh, looks like it was, let's see, what did the... Oh, okay, Humble says target in J.
No.
Okay, so just say we probably need to wait.
No.
Okay. Right. So just cross this out. Next one, secure Linux relabeling with mount options. This also just moved to beta, right, Yang?
Yeah, and now it's being disabled in
Oh, what do you mean
master
disabled?
because it's broken. Anyway,
Oh,
I
okay.
will see if what the status is. And anyway, I will not move it to GA because I need to wait for one release anyway, so it will stay in beta.
Okay,
Maybe it will start new beta in 128, we will see.
okay.
And you can copy the same to the volume reconstruction.
All right, okay. Okay. Okay, so I should change this one. This is a beta. Okay, yeah, it is beta, but then
We'll
and the
see.
beta. Okay, we just say started again, right? Started.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so maybe beta on by default or something like that.
Yeah.
Again. So same with this other. Where's that? Oh, that's this one. Okay, that.
Thanks.
Let's change this to beta. Okay. It's this one. And okay, then we have a few items, remove the entry plugin. So the first one is GC. So can we do this in 1.28? Is it Matt or Michelle? Do you know if we can? So I don't know if Matt is here. Okay, I don't see Matt.
I think it's planned. There's actually a PR There's a PR that's disabling the feature gates, but we're asking the author to also just remove the whole plugin. So I think it's planned, yeah.
Okay.
Do you also plan to remove the whole cloud provider?
That's another question. I think we, at least so far, at least in this PR, we're scoping it to just the volume plugin. I think for the entire cloud provider, that's a discussion we need to have with Walter on that.
So I believe they actually started that discussion. I heard they talk about that one at KubeCon. They may have some meetings for cloud providers.
Yeah, I think the main thing is like we want to get the external cloud provider CI all set up. And then when that's ready, then we remove the entry cloud provider. And so I think there has been some progress on getting the external CI jobs healthy again.
Okay. Thank you. And okay, so this is this is not started. And this one is done. And yeah, probably should keep this here just as a reminder. And this one, I believe we said this is also 1.30. Probably should ping Andy. Does anyone know status for this? Azure file? Ping Andy.
Can we remove it because it went GA in 127?
So, no, this is for, oh yeah, sorry. Actually 1.30, sorry. Don't need to ping him yet, too early. I'm getting myself confused. Okay, yeah, this is just a track, right? 1.30, you're right. This one is done.
And can we delete like the EBS and this Azure Disk because like delete the whole row?
This is already removed. This was,
yeah, but can we remove the row from the spreadsheet? Because...
Oh, I was just thinking like this will be easier for us to track because otherwise, like every time I go through this, I need to, is every down or not?
Okay. Okay.
At least, we have everything here. We can, look at that, so don't have to. There's just so many of them. Okay, so yeah, so this one, I asked Humble about this. So this one moved to beta off by default, right, in 1.27. Humble was saying that there isn't really any customers using the entry Ceph already plugin. So now I was just wondering if that's the case, should we actually look at this one? Do we really need to go to GA? Is that even necessary, or should we just remove it, deprecate it? And if that's easier, that's something maybe. Okay, let's see if he has any update on this one. Say that. Working on it. Yeah, but I mean, if there are no customers, I mean, I don't know why do we need to do this. Maybe Jan and Hermand. That's also a question for you. Humble, basically, he told me that there are no customers using this.
Yeah, we don't have anyone using the entry. So
if that's the case, I'm just doubted, like, do we actually really have to do all this work, right? So let's add some comments here.
Well, it depends. If there is anybody interested enough to spend some time there, and because they have a customer, or
but there are no customers. I have not heard.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. There are no customers, and you're from OpenShift side. There are no customers. Who else? We can definitely ask, right? So that's the thing. Well, maybe you guys can talk about this one. I'm just thinking, what's the point if there are no customers? Right, we still have to maintain this thing. You still need to go through the reviews and all of that.
We can do the same as with CFFS, I believe.
So yeah, that's exactly what I'm asking. Why I just feel bad, like we just moved this one to to beta on by default. Yeah, I don't know why we want to have a GA feature that nobody's using. That still, you still need resources to review and make sure that's not broken, right? So what's the point? Okay. All right, so this is a question mark. And okay, so SafeFS, yeah, we I think Humble sent out that email. I don't remember seeing any response. Did you guys see any response for that? Oh, I don't know what. Okay, yeah, deprecation. Yang Michelle, did you see anyone responding, say they are against removing this SafeFS? I haven't seen anything, just
No.
wonder. Okay. All right, thanks. Oh, we should just add a note here. And next one is a Portworx entry driver. So right now it is off by default. I pinged Grant to see if they're interested in moving this to on by default. He said not in 1.28, maybe in 1.29. I also asked him if there are actually any customers using it. He said yes, they actually have customers, but they need to do thorough testing. I'll just add this note here. Okay, so maybe we'll add this note here. Okay, so next one is this always honor reclaim policy. I need to check with Deepak and see if he has time to add E2 test. Basically, that's what is left there. And next one is a convertible mode conversion. So control volume mode conversion. So this one is beta in 1.27. So I believe we need to wait at least one release or maybe even two before we move this one to GA. So we can maybe cross this out for now. And next one is a better default storage class. Oh, okay. So we were planning to go GA, but then we didn't do it. Yang, Do you know what's the plan for this?
I will check.
Okay.
Like preliminaries, I would say yes, we want to go GA. I will check if Roman has time.
Okay.
Is Roman here? No.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Quality of service. I don't know why this is crossed out. Do we have a plan for this to
I think it's
move to
slipped
Alpha, or
from
maybe this was
slipped
last
from
time?
127.
Yeah.
So we should uncross it.
Okay. So but Michelle, I don't know if Sunny or Matt is here. Michelle, do you know what is the plan for this?
Yeah, we're still in design discussions right now, but yeah, we want to try to target this if possible.
Okay. So
You
let me
want,
say
so you want
Alpha.
alpha?
I'm sorry?
Alpha,
We
right?
want
Alpha
alpha.
in.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, and is Matt the right person? Because I see Sunny on all the pages.
Yeah, Sunny is driving it.
All right. So just add a Sunny. Yeah. Okay. And this. Okay. Do we? Okay. This one that looks like I think Jonathan have some design doc for this one, right? Is okay. Do we have any plan to do anything for this efficient amount time handling of FS group?
I don't know.
Okay.
Jonathan is on holiday, so I'm not sure.
Okay. So anyway, we'll leave it here and
Mm-hmm.
can you check with him?
Sure.
Right. Thank you. Okay, next one is we already talked about this. Okay, so PV last phase transition time. Actually, okay, this is the one that we actually got the cap merged, right? But didn't have time to do. Is that right? So trying to target alpha, but then we removed it because we don't have. I think Roman didn't got time to. Right. Okay. I think that's the status. Is this still, so do you know, Jan, do you know if he's going to work on this?
I think not in this release, and we need to wait for one release to get GA, right?
Oh, this is alpha, right? PV
yeah,
last
sorry,
transition time.
sorry.
Okay.
Most probably yes.
Okay. So should we okay, remove this, or you still need to double check?
We can uncross it.
Okay. All right. So we'll give it a try.
see.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh, I think
It's basically waiting for API review now.
okay. I thought, isn't it? I thought the cap was merged, but then he didn't have time to.
I think so.
Oh, you're saying the code is.
Yeah,
okay.
the code is.
I somehow remember
Yeah.
he would say he didn't get time to work on something. Oh, anyway, maybe I could.
Yeah, there is a PR waiting on API review.
Oh, okay. Oh, not me too. Sorry. PR. All right. Okay. Thank you. And next one. This is the one that we co-owned with SIG apps. PVCD created by Civil said will be auto removed. This is beta in 1.28, so probably we will need to wait to GA to cross this out for now. Warning expansion for safer said. Herman, do you know this? You think it's design, or do you think we're trying to target alpha for this feature?
I think we are still trying to do the design. I spoke with, like we have been making progress, obviously, but we still have some roadblocks to solve. And yeah, I think the person who was assigned to it, RLer, he said he just responded that he's busy till end of this month, but I will try
Okay.
to drive something. Let's see.
Okay, thank you. And okay, the next one is non-graceful no shutdown. I need to check with Ashutosh just to see if he has time to work on the E2E test. I'll check. So the next two, I think okay, so those are all SIG node items. Run kubelet without root. So Hamad, okay, those have your names on. Do you know, are they targeting anything for this two? The next two features are all SIG node.
I don't have any update today, maybe next time.
Okay, so, all right, so I'll just leave it like this for now. Yeah, so if there is anything else that you want to track for 1.28, please add to the spreadsheet. Okay, so that's all we have here. So look at the timeline. So the release cycle begins on May 15th. The PRR, for that, we need to get the PRR ready June 8th, and then the enhancement freeze is June 15th, but then 1 month after that, it's code freeze. So this between this and this is just one month. Oh. All right. Okay, so we have this item. Ryan, you there?
Yes, yes, it's Rian. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me. I'm Rian. I'm from the II team in New Zealand, and we've been working on conformance testing of the API for Kubernetes for at least from 2019. When we started, we were sitting at 25%. And what happened at that stage is the conformance group looked at the test requirements. There's a hyperlink there for the test requirements. And they said, okay, let's put storage aside for a while because we're not 100% sure if it conforms to all the requirements of conformance testing. And we reached 100% of all the other endpoints in March this year. And now we're swinging around to all the other ineligible endpoints. So Jordan Leggett pointed out that most of the storage endpoints should actually be eligible for conformance. So we pulled out a list of that. So I grouped them and counted by type. You see there's no CSI node, CSI driver, and the number of endpoints per group. So all these endpoints needs conformance test now. So what we would appreciate from this group, if we could have a review of the endpoints by the group, and the specialists, which are all around here in the group, can tell us whether we are correct to assume that these endpoints do conform to the requirements. Because they can't be vendor specific, they can't be calling specific operating system calls. They have to be not using kubectl and so on and so forth. If you go through, you'll see there's a lot of requirements there. So if we can get some agreement from this group that there is none of these that should not be tested, we will go ahead and write tests for those. So we do the test writing, but if there's anybody that willing to help here with writing tests, everybody's busy, but if there's somebody passionate about test writing, or you've got an intern that wants to help with that. So the process for conformance, for those that do not know, is you first have to write an E2E test. get that approved by the SIG architecture group. There was a sub-project for conformance running, but at the moment we merged the meeting with SIG architecture, where there is input about the test, whether the test is actually properly exercising the endpoint in a way that reflect the operation of the endpoint. And then when there's agreement, the test is doing what it should be doing, we merge it into the code base. Then we track it on the test grid for 2 weeks. It is not allowed to flake at all for 2 weeks. If it does flake, we need to figure out why, fix the flake, put it back in. And as soon as we have 2 weeks flake-free proven, we could go ahead and promote the endpoint for conformance, which would basically mean it will then be included in the conformance test suite run by Sonovoy for anybody that wants to put a Kubernetes conformance badge on their box. I will also send out this information to your mailing list if that is okay. And we'll then the other big ask is we will come back with the test to this group for approval, because we are definitely not experts on storage. So please feel free to help us in the right direction. And we hope that it would be a bit of a cumulative curve as soon as we start knocking out the first few and figure out the correct patterns for testing storage, that it will go faster. And we hope to have these done properly by the end of the year.
Hey, thank you.
Hi, Rian. This is Manu from AWS. We would be happy to collaborate on this. I don't know what the scope of the work is at this point, but this sounds like something that, given the fact that you're looking for somebody to help out, I think we should be able to at least contribute some bandwidth towards these tests and helping you in this work. So if you can reach out either over Slack or email or whatever, we can figure out what the next steps should be.
Fantastic. That would be really helpful. If you just drop your Slack name in the agenda, I will definitely reach out.
Yeah, will do.
Cool. Maybe I can also provide some context on this. I think in the past, we have considered conformance tests for storage, and one of the challenges of, say, like an end-to-end conformance workflow is that it does require, some operating system and potentially storage system requirements, because it needs to mount and do operations like that. And so, like, I think there's a thread, there has been a thread, an old thread about like having some optional conformance suite for storage or for stateful workloads that has these kind of additional requirements. But I think what you're talking about here is a little bit different. I think here we're talking about API conformance. Is that correct?
Yes, so we're basically testing the API and see whether we can properly exercise the API to see whether it's alive.
Yeah. So then this is a little different. This is actually these tests. The purpose of these tests is to test that the Kubernetes cluster is able to serve these APIs and to serve the endpoints, but it doesn't necessarily need to test the whole end-to-end functionality of the system.
Correct, yes. Some of the last endpoints that we did test was exactly that problem, that you couldn't bring up all the resources exactly in the way that's functional, but you do test that the API is available and working.
Cool. Yeah, so I think in terms of like previous efforts here, I know for some of our recent features in the last couple of releases, we did create some conformance tests for the CSI driver endpoint. I don't remember if we actually promoted those to conformance or not, but I think those tests might be a good place to start as sort of like a sample, and then extend it to the rest of the storage API endpoints.
Oh yes, that would be very helpful. Do you perhaps have a link to those tests?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Well, that would be super helpful.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to have a more comprehensive set of storage conformance tests, as Michelle was pointing out, and we've thought about doing some work in that space, but we haven't really had time to prioritize that so far. So I think if there is interest here in enhancing the capabilities as part of those tests, then we can certainly look into doing that.
Yeah, let me also, in the agenda notes, I'll link to the old discussion we had about functional conformance tests. And we can try to continue the discussion there. But yeah, I guess in the interim, the closest thing we have is we have the storage end-to-end test suite that can be plugged into a number of providers.
Is that storage test suite, is it vendor agnostic, or does it require, do you have a suite per vendor?
The test suite is written such that you can run it against any storage vendor.
All right.
But to actually run, like get a passing test, you need a valid storage vendor or a storage system.
Yeah, that's probably in that way it probably wouldn't work. So we would have to test lower level than that.
Yeah. And so basically, I think I just wanted to clarify, there's kind of two different types of conformance tests we've been discussing today. One is the API conformance test, which is what you're primarily looking at. Yes. And then there is this like functional conformance test, which is another sort of aspect of it.
Correct. Right, thank you very much. I'll appreciate that. We will go have a look at that CSI driver endpoints. And I believe, like we found, the apps was totally open last year with just about no tests. And once we started on that and they discovered the patterns for that specific resources, it actually rolls quite quickly once you got a pattern established. So if people can help us establish that pattern, we're more than welcome to, or more than happy to do the work and move it forward. And we also do all the administration and chasing up the test grid and making sure that the things passed and monitor that and do the promotion. So we try to do as much of the work as possible if you can just share all the knowledge that we need.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing this up.
Thanks for everybody. I will continually be back to bring tests for review.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. So the next one, I just want to give a quick update. Yang and I were at KubeCon, so we have a SIG storage session there. Actually, yeah, it was pretty good. We had some great questions from the audience. There was also a DP working group session. That one is virtual. We also had a meetup at the Contributor Summit. It's a small number of people. And then we also had a meet and greet for new contributors. So yeah, so that was good. All right, are there anything else for anyone?
I had one question. We were working with Matt and Sunny on the QoS related provisioned IO KEP, and we had left some feedback on that KEP, and we didn't really see any updates on that KEP recently. So I was wondering if what the next steps there should be about that.
Yeah, let me sync up with them. They are still actively working on it. They just recently got pulled into some things in the last few weeks.
Got it. Yeah. I think last we heard from on that subject, they had said that they were going to try and address the feedback. So just wanted to kind of make sure that that was still the plan or not. So.
Yes, it's still the plan.
So I remember there was a doc that they are capturing some requirements. I don't know if this is the right one or is it different. Is there another doc? Maybe this looks like an old one. I believe there was another doc at the end. They actually captured some requirements or from different storage systems. It looks like that's not linked here.
I think the actual KEP may have had some feedback, like.
Right, but this was but there was also a doc. There was but I don't know where that. So I know it's somewhere, but it looks
I
like
think it might be linked because there's multiple different threads of
Yeah.
discussion going on.
Yeah.
I think in the CSI spec PR, there might be a link to a different doc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Probably a good idea to consolidate them at some point. So.
Yeah. I think, let's see, is that this one, right? Okay, let's see. This is there is a Google Doc somewhere.
Yeah, I asked to,
Is it this
okay.
one? Could it be this one?
I think that's CSI
Oh,
agenda.
maybe this is the one. Oh no, this is the, okay. Yeah, I think we have that doc probably here somewhere.
I can probably dig up.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
exact.
Oh no, not this one. I thought there was a
Yeah, after the
doc.
CSI spec discussion, I asked Sunny to create a doc to like get all the collect all the information on how each storage vendor does QoS.
Mhm.
I don't think she posted the link to that doc in any. I don't see the
Yeah,
link.
maybe good to
I'll
actually have,
ask her to do that. Yeah.
yeah, good to add it to the like everything, link everything in the issue will be the so we have
Yeah.
everything here. Yeah, I think this seems to be the original one, the first one before the CAB is submitted, and then there is another doc, and even the CSI spec, that one is good to link it here. Maybe it is linked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can have everything in one place. Yeah, so I know that so I added something from a vSphere point of view, and I believe she's also trying to collect something for Ceph. I'm not sure if that's there yet. Or maybe from Pure. I've forgotten. It was we mentioned a few vendors that she said she will collect some feedback. Yeah, so I believe it's ongoing. It's just maybe not everything is showing here in this issue.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as folks are working on that, I think that's great to hear. So.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. And that's it for today then. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.